that way. But there's also, I put on my metrics glasses, all my analytics glasses for all those nerds out there.
But Thomas Bryant jockstrap, get him out of here.
How does that not indicate to you, like, hey, sometimes, like, these prospects are awesome?
Donald, get back. They snatched that chain, boy. Get back. What y'all gonna do about it? Popeye snatched that chain. Get back. We want that snack wrap. They got 3 flavors. Y'all got 1.
So funny, bro.
Hey, everybody. Welcome into the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network, presented by... Your camera is literally frozen. I hate your camera. Let me see if I can do this real quick.
Oh, no.
On live television.
Oh, no.
Jack, you scarred the camera. It just wanted to go blank on you. Anyways, while we get this figured out, guys. Well, there he is. Welcome to the show, everybody. Let me start that over. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network, presented by FanDuel. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, no longer frozen, Nick Padone, and Rob Watson. Good morning, gentlemen. It is December 19th. We are almost to Christmas. A lot of people, this is some people's last day of work, guys, before they go on Christmas break. Not us.
My mom's been on vacation.
We'll be back next week for a little bit at least. But for the meantime, this is our last Friday before Christmas time. So good morning, gentlemen. Welcome into the Big Factor. How are we?
All right, just because the Lord was born, all right, all these years ago, we have to start taking off work. What's this society come to?
I think Trump just said something about he wants to make the 24th and the 26th federal holidays.
Dude, back in my day, this time of year, we were walking to school uphill both ways. In this weather, whether it was went to school on Christmas Day, man, front of the classroom.
How do you go uphill both ways?
You never heard that? That's like the
That's like
old people.
OG Uncle talk. Like they just completely make up stuff that makes no sense, and they just make you do it so you'd stop complaining. Like OG Uncle talk.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's jump right into it. We got a bombshell report from Josina Anderson. She took a hiatus from tweeting about Shador to bless us with the report that there has been recently expressed interest. I've already been blackballed. Interest in Bill Belichick on exploratory basis from 2 NFL teams. She goes on to quote, "My understanding is Belichick has upper-level personnel still fond of him in Atlanta, New York, and Cleveland, while all struggling teams are going through their customary evaluations this time of the year." My question to you guys... Anybody taking this seriously?
Yeah, I mean, think of those
Atlanta.
think of those 3 teams that she just named, right? Like, and think of who owns those 3 teams: Jimmy Haslam, Arthur Blank, and Woody Johnson. 3 owners that certainly have an affinity for the shiny object, and this is going to be the shiny object of this head coaching cycle.
Oh,
now,
so I'm sorry to interrupt you. I didn't realize this. Is this the Jets or the Giants?
I gotta believe that's the.
I kind of assumed it was the Giants.
I thought it was the Giants too.
Maybe
because they're
well.
looking for
The thing is, we're talking about this.
Your point still stands. Your point still stands.
And the head coach hasn't even been fired yet. Like, so we're talking about this in pure hypotheticals.
Because if we're on there, that means the Jets could be on there because we haven't fired Kevin yet either.
Right.
So.
And Atlanta hasn't fired Raheem Morris yet either.
Yeah,
so I was thinking that it was maybe just 3 teams that didn't. Yeah, but you're right too. I guess it technically could be the Giants. I will say I don't think it's unfounded. I don't think that this is made up. I believe you look at and she said upper level personnel, it's ownership. Think of the 3 ownership groups that I just named that could be interested in a Bill Belichick. I definitely think that it's plausible that we're in a reality in the next couple of weeks where they're at least meeting with Bill Belichick about a head coach vacancy. And like, look, I'm desperate. I'm about as desperate as they come. I don't know that I'm Bill Belichick desperate. However, like, I'm not mad at the fact that they have respect for him and they're interested in a meeting. Like, this tells me that if anything, they're going to cast a wide net, which they should. Like, you've had Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry as your 2 guys for the last 6 years. Things have changed in the National Football League from 6 years when they arrived in Berea prior to the global pandemic ever even starting. A lot has changed since then. I wouldn't be mad if they meet with Belichick, if they're interested in Belichick. I just don't know that that'd be my...
The whole thing is you just said things have
choice.
changed in 6 years. A lot more have changed in the last 12 years since Bill Belichick was like a top NFL coach. I don't get it at all.
Yeah, I guess let me rephrase that. Not are you taking the report seriously, because I'm not questioning her source or anything like that, but I'm just not even really entertaining the fact that this is a route they would go down. Hiring a 73-year-old head coach. Like, if you're going off of this regime, give me something to be excited about, something I can see growth in. Like, come on, Browns aren't going to be good in the next couple of years. We know that. I like a 73-year-old coach that reeks of Pete Carroll to the Vegas Raiders. I didn't like it when they first hired him. I didn't understand it. Like, it's different. I heard somebody make this comparison, like Bruce Arians when he went to Tampa Bay. Well, you knew that probably wasn't a long-term solution, but you basically knew you were going to get Tom Brady in place. Yeah. Your window was like 1 to 2 years. Cleveland Browns' window isn't 1 to 2 years, no matter how many reporters, you know who I'm talking about, say it is.
Well, and I also think, too, that, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with sitting down for somebody and having a meeting.
It is Bill Belichick.
Because it's Bill Belichick.
It is.
You know, so like, and a lot of times these head coaching interviews, that's what they are. Like, it's actually just a fact-finding mission. Like, maybe they're interested in a meeting with Bill Belichick because they want to ask about his coordinator. You know, like they want to ask about
Freddie
the old boy that could be on his third different head coaching try in Josh McDaniel, who they had in their building and were seriously considering as a candidate had they not gone with Kevin Stefanski. So, like, I definitely don't mind them gathering as much information as they possibly can because they haven't been in this phase as an organization over 6 years. So there's no harm in taking the meeting. I just like, like they're going to have a candidate pool of say 12 guys that come public, and then they'll whittle that down to like 4 or 5 serious contenders. And then from there, you usually find out the final 2. I can't have it where Bill Belichick is even whittled down into my final 4 or 5. Like, I'm cool if you want to put out this statement that you're meeting with him and interviewing with him for the head coaching vacancy. That's awesome. But Ryan, for the situation that you just laid out, like he's 73 years old, and you know this is a team that's rebuilding right now, and you just like, what is he going to be, 80 years old, winning a Super Bowl in the Dome? Like,
could you imagine, for all the attention that Shador's brought, good or bad, take it for what you will. Like pouring that on top of it, adding Jordan Hudson to the mix would make for one crazy Berea, I would say.
Get ready to just not have the coaching search period. Get ready for that. I feel like that's on the way. I don't know. I got a sick feeling about it. I got a sick feeling about it, man. And it's the last thing I want to see happen, but I got a real sick feeling we're on for year 7.
Would you rather have year 7 or year 1 of Bill?
Year 7.
Year 1.
Year 1.
I'm that desperate. If it came to that, and I'm that desperate.
I'd take another year.
I'm year 7. I think.
Those are my only 2 options. I'm not going.
Because
I've just been mentally debating.
There you go. There's your shiny object. Never works out.
Bill with Jordan is never going to.
Atlanta would make so much sense though. Like you already went halfway down the coast, so you're already basically there.
That would make sense to me. If Atlanta was going to hire Bill, he would have done it when originally he didn't get fired, but you know how that worked. With
Raheem Morris was the hot.
Arthur Blank has a bigger ego than Jimmy Haslam. You got to think about that too. Like if he can go out now, he has to. Is he the only owner to ever induct himself into his own rafters?
That's fine.
He has to be, right? That's the kind of guy who goes to get Bill.
That's kind of tough, though.
Just because.
A little bit.
Yeah.
With no Super Bowls.
I'm not. I don't think many people would seriously want.
No, we're not hiring Bill Belichick.
Yeah, no way.
It's a fun report. These reports come out this time of the year. We know how this.
And I don't mind it.
All
I
for us
seriously
to
don't
stick
mind
with
There were like
Kevin.
Condoleezza Rice a couple times around to go. Like there's always the fun name.
I don't mind
That's
it.
all for not just for it to be Kevin.
But Nick, you don't mind it, but you don't seriously would never want Bill as your head coach, right? You just want.
It would have been lit 15 years ago.
You don't mind them taking the meetings, is your stance, right? You wouldn't actually consider, Bill Belichick.
I'm actually considering it, dude. I'm desperate. I'm desperate for a change, and I'm desperate to get this losing culture off me. And Bill Belichick is probably the wrong name.
He wants to come in an associate role like Vrabel, sure.
Yeah, but look what happened at UNC. I can't ignore that, but at the same time, I can't ignore the 6 Lombardis on the shelf, and I can't ignore that I'm desperate.
You gotta watch
I do know for a fact that Bubba Ventrone would have been fired when Gage Larvidan dropped his 3rd punt of the season.
You said Bubba. I thought you were going by Ray for now on.
That's cool. We gotta like be careful of the desperation though, because I feel like desperation Jimmy means Deshaun Watson trade Jimmy, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Going forward.
You're not wrong.
We gotta be desperate, but still calculated. And Bill Belichick is not the calculated move.
I just have no doubt in my mind that it wouldn't be just like the biggest shit show of all time, like just media circus, like just quick. Urban Meyer 1 year.
Bill is not what he once was, and that's fine. He still had a legendary career. Still like one of the top, maybe the greatest coach of all time.
And if you're Bill, man, like I already said this when he went to UNC. I thought it was going to fail. Like your legacy, I don't want to say took a hit because it doesn't deserve to say took a hit, but it's certainly people look at it from a different lens.
Yeah.
When Brady left. Then you go to UNC and it looks even worse. And I knew that. I mean, we all knew that was probably going to fail. Bill Belichick coaching college kids. I guess you'd come back maybe.
I'd say it took a hit. I would say that his legacy has taken a hit just because of how he's perceived publicly. Like when you think Bill Belichick, you think Jordan Hudson. Your mind immediately goes to Jordan Hudson before it goes to 6 Lombardi.
You're not wrong, which is crazy. That's absolutely insane to think about.
Yeah, I do think, though, like, I think that's more so to certain generations. Like, I think if you look at people over, like, 30, though, they're still looking 6 Lombardis. I think it's, like, us, like, the younger people. But even still, like, I don't think it takes that much of a legacy hit.
All those older people think Tom Lefton won another ring, though, and he hasn't done jack since.
Yeah.
His legacy's taken a hit ever since that breakup in New England, for sure.
Well, he needs to do another breakup. And I'm not talking about coaching. We all know what I'm talking about. All right, guys. Crazy to think about this, though. We're talking about the Cleveland Browns having a head coach opening, and it's not even quite yet open. Bill Barnwell put out an article on ESPN basically ranking the potential most coveted head coaching openings in the NFL, 1 through 8. We'll go run through this list. Again, these are potential. Some of these job openings aren't there yet, but they very well could be. Cincinnati Bengals, he ranks as number 1 coveted potential head coach job in the opening NFL next season. Number 2, Arizona Cardinals. And number 3, he ranks our Cleveland Browns. I'll give you a quick
What?
Yeah?
Bill Barnwell wrote it, then put it in stone.
Number 4.
And then he's got Arizona above us?
1, the Bengals. 2, the Cardinals. 3, the Browns.
I get the Bengals.
4, Tennessee. 5, the Giants.
What's attractive about coming here for any person ever?
2 first-round picks. And
6,
and Myles Garrett.
The Falcons.
The cap hell will
7, the
always
Dolphins.
just
And
kill
8,
us, bro.
the Las Vegas Raiders.
What's Arizona have above us?
Talent,
They're going to bring back
Weather,
J.J. Watt?
weapons.
I don't think they have an income tax.
Weapons, a high pick. I don't know. I would.
Yeah, but we
I'd
have
consider
2
it
first-round picks and Myles
dome.
Garrett.
You could trade
And
Kyle
we have
for whatever's
Deshaun
left.
Watson on our roster.
I really think it's Cincinnati 1, Cleveland 2.
Here's what Bill
And
Barnwell.
we're also Cleveland. You keep forgetting we're Cleveland. It's Cleveland. Everything goes wrong here. You cannot forget that.
Here's what Bill Barnwell wrote up about the Cleveland Browns' potential head coach opening. Quote, a new coach would likely help determine whether the Browns use 1 or both of their first-round picks in 2026 to help land a new quarterback. Shedeur, you got a little sassy on this last line. Shedeur Sanders' league worst 16.9 total QBR since taking over as Browns quarterback is likely to interest exactly 1 potential head coaching candidate. And he's likely to stick in Colorado.
That's a good line.
Shucks.
I'll give Bill a nose giggle there.
Bill writes up about the Browns' ownership. He says they can be inconsistent. They've spent more cash over the past 5 seasons than anybody else in football, but the Haslams haven't always been patient team owners with their coaches. Before Stefanski, Browns went through 5 permanent coaches over the first 8 years of the Haslam era in Cleveland with very mixed results. It's possible that they've mellowed with experience, and Stefanski has been much more successful than the prior coaches in Cleveland. But given how far the Browns are from seriously competing, I'm not sure I'd want to be the one waiting to find out.
They extended a head coach that went 1-31. Yep. So miss me with that they're not patient. They've given these jokers 2 full projects. They had Baker Mayfield, which is the project that they signed up for, and then Deshaun Watson was the project that they all signed us up for, and both of those failed. So it's like, what do you mean Jimmy Haslam is impatient? Like, he saw through 1-31. He saw through this nightmare dumpster fire. Like, I think he's erratic. Like, and who are the coaches prior that he fired? Like, oh, Mike Pettin got fired from the Browns and went on to do what as a head coach after this? Like, it's not exactly like you've been scorched by all of these guys that they were quick to hire, quick to fire. Freddie Kitchens, what's he up to these days? He's probably coming on the Big Factor next week.
That'd be fucking awesome.
Negative.
I would love to have Fred Word on. Nick, I agree with you that the Cleveland Browns are actually a pretty, like, outside of the fact you said with Cleveland's Cleveland, but head coaches probably you don't view it that way. I'm sure you view ownership Haslam one way, but Cleveland Browns, you have these 2 picks, 1 potentially if you can get a quarterback. Obviously, that's probably the most attractive thing for a new
And
regime.
we'll spend to a fault.
You look at the defense. You have an owner that's willing to spend money. I think it's pretty attractive. I would agree with you, Nick.
It's cool,
I would
bro.
say it's more
Above
attractive than
Arizona.
Arizona, and then I'd certainly
just think
say
it's
more
a
attractive than the other ones. That
A
he
lot
listed.
less to do in Arizona. You still have to replace an entire offensive line, get a quarterback, and get receivers. That is a tall task.
Pretty much.
And you got to turn a 3-win team into a team next year that everyone sees clear improvement, and that the next year you should be competitive. That's a tall ask for someone to come in and do, especially likely someone who hasn't been a head coach before, because that's going to be most of the guys on the market.
Do you have a read on what he said about the Cardinals job?
I can find it real quick.
I just know, like,
the Coach Prime dig in there was kind of funny.
I thought that was a
Cardinals
really good
defense mid, but, like, I'll take a team with Marvin Harrison, Trey McBride, and a top pick.
Who would you guys rather take, Belichick or Prime?
Obviously, Bill
Neither.
Belichick.
Jesus, man. If those are my 2 options,
That is crazy.
I'm
bro.
taking football off next year.
That's bad work. That's bad work. That's bad work.
That guy, just hire that guy that stands in the stands with the Denny's menu and the headset on.
Jack, I can't quite find what he wrote about the Arizona Cardinals, but
yeah, he probably didn't write anything.
We can go back and find that. All right, guys.
Some other day.
Before we move on, I got to tell everybody about Garage Beer. Garage Beer comes in just 2 flavors, classic light lager as well as that classic lime. No frills, no bitterness, no IPAs. Just beer the way you want beer to taste, and that is beer-flavored beer. So scan the QR code now. Go give their website a visit, drinkgaragebeer.com, to find local retailers who sell garage beer near you. Again, that is drinkgaragebeer.com. All right, we flip over to the hardwood. Talking about, go ahead.
Before we got one final Browns quip before we flip over to the NBA, and this is happening in real time. Browns offensive line coach Mike Bloomgren. Remember how excited we were when they hired him out of Rice, and we were like, oh, this is like, a guy that was a head coach and a coordinator. He's going to come be a position coach. Surely it'll work. It hasn't. This line is so funny. Quote, "This has been the most challenging year of my coaching career."
I'm sure it has.
He's like about to turn 60 years old. He's been in football his entire life. And coaching KT Leviston and Corn Lucas is just...
You should probably pack it up, bro. You should probably pack it up.
Like, how old is
Mike?
Let me pull up this dude's wiki, because my bet would be,
because it definitely, the on-field product looks like it's been one of the most challenging.
So he's only
years
48. I aged him a little bit.
Holy shit! He made him 60.
He's been in coaching since 1999.
Berea, 1 year.
I've done this for 26 years.
1 year in Berea equals 4 in the White House.
And it definitely looks like it's been challenging.
He's been a head coach.
I would agree, Michael.
He's been a coordinator. He's been every position coach you could name. And this year has just fried him.
I don't blame him, man. I feel like I have gray hair just from watching the Cleveland Browns play every Sunday. Starting to get some gray hairs from watching our Cleveland Cavaliers play, guys. Trade season, rumor season is upon us as the NBA trade deadline will creep up before we know it. ESPN's Shams Charania spoke about our Cleveland Cavaliers and their recent struggles. According to Shams, Cavs are receiving, quote, a ton of incoming calls on their players, and he says there's only 2 players on Cleveland that the team doesn't seem willing to move. He labels them as untouchables. That's, to no surprise, Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. 1, are we surprised by this report? I doubt it. 2, it seems like that time. Could the Cavs really consider moving on from Darius Garland? And would they be selling low at
Rob,
this point?
is it over? It's feeling like it's over. Like, this is the low. I felt this while I was watching the Bulls game on Wednesday night, and I was thinking, like, midway through the third quarter, I'm like, it's kind of like an overdramatic thought. But now I'm like standing 10 toes down on this thought. This is the lowest point of the Donovan Mitchell era.
We're a few losses from someone being gone at the deadline. And I don't know how that really works with how you have to match up the money with where you are. And obviously, like I said a couple days ago, the diminishing of asset that these people have become, everyone who wasn't listed, everyone obviously assuming Darius Garland, Jared Allen, DeAndre Hunter, I think, is someone who could probably be on the move too, because that just absolutely hasn't worked out this year since Ty Jerome's been gone. And you have Jalen Tyson, a cheaper option, who's been, quite frankly, just playing much better. So I don't know how much they shake it up. I think you're a little bit away from the trade deadline, so you got some more time. But if you see it continue to fall apart more, you can see remember that Cavs team that signed the whole retirement home, and then they realized it wasn't it, and they just completely shook it up at the mid-year in 2018. I'm not gonna say that's gonna happen, but you could definitely, if the right deal comes across, they could definitely shake it up, fresh start, try to just put some juice in that building, because it's finally to the point, and I've honestly been saying this, I think, since who did we lose to the first time we went to the playoffs with Donovan?
New York
Knicks.
Yeah, I've been saying this for 3 years now, that the core 4 wasn't going to take you anywhere, but I guess they're just now finding that out, probably a year or two too late, but at least we're here.
So Zach Lowe on his podcast increased his concern meter to DEFCON 1, which is the worst.
Yeah.
DEFCON 1 is the worst. And said Garland and Allen's values are at, and this is a quote, rock bottom.
Wow.
It's almost like I like no ball. I know ball. And these were 2 dudes that were all-stars in the same year, I think, not too long ago. I think I went to that all-star game. I definitely was there when Garland was all-star. I got the t-shirt, but I don't know if Allen was one that year. But yeah, the value is, I don't even I don't know. We're talking about a time where you could have got 2 to 3 firsts for Darius Garland, maybe, because he had that much potential, to now where I think it's maybe 1 in a player.
Could we let's look tonight? Come on. Could the comeback start tonight? They're 7-point favorites at home against the same Chicago Bulls team that laughed them off the floor on Wednesday.
Is that Bulls money line?
Bulls money line on FanDuel right now plus 235.
It's not. It should be like that tells me everything I need to know. Like that should be like a plus 500 if we were the team we're supposed to be, the second apron roster.
That's not good.
We filmed Full Court Cleveland yesterday, and Sam and Miko brought up a point. And, for a lot of, we like to not shit on, but, kind of became a little bit of a meme during his time here in Cleveland was George Niang, friend of Big Play. And he said, listen, like, for all George Niang in the locker room, like, he was the one that would get in the locker room and get in people's faces, call them out, and they don't really have a presence like that anymore. Do you think that's a factor?
We talked about how those players were on the court, and I do think to a degree we liked a lot of the moves. Obviously, it hasn't mixed up as well, but yeah, we probably do miss the pieces like George Niang, Isaac Okoro, and whatever Ty Jerome was to the locker room. I think we missed Ty Jerome's presence as how good as he was for us in the regular season. But, George Niang and Isaac Okoro obviously, made things better in the locker room. Tristan Thompson, also gone this year, was another huge locker room guy, someone who was really tight with Darius Garland, and that might be affecting his mental and how he's playing. Because remember, how many years ago was that when Darius wanted out? That was a thing that happened not too long ago.
Last year.
Yeah, it was either last year or the year before. So
that report came out last year.
All the mediators and connectors in the locker room, and because I've been on teams where people didn't like each other, but there were those guys that kind of brought everyone together. We may be looking at that where it might just reach a boiling point, and some things that people would have been calmed down and have stopped from saying before might get said, and requests might be made, and you just see that you got to move on.
Do you call Tristan? Seriously, because he was close with DG.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I think they might have to, being serious. They might have to look at this and
he might need to be on the staff.
Because look, those blockbuster mid-year trades usually don't work. They usually don't result in an NBA Finals run. It worked in 2018 because LeBron admitted this week, in fact, that he was playing the best basketball of his career at that stage. But if you look at moving DG now, you're effectively punting on the year. Yeah. So it's
unless you somehow
or you
work
try
out
to just
a
put your
crazy deal with Milwaukee. That's the only thing I could think of.
Right. Or you just put your head down and hope that he gets healthy and this toe thing, he can find a way to manage through that and maybe bring back Tristan.
I'd definitely give Tristan a call about a job on the staff. In anything, just travel with the team. Obviously not going to play. Or just do what James Johnson has done for the Pacers for some years. I feel like there was a player that LeBron used to bring with him from
Udonis Haslam was on
there
the
was
end
stuff
of the
like
bench
that. You might need the player coach.
James
He may be sorely missed on this team. So, but it's definitely all time bad right now. When you talk about that, the Niangs, the Okoros, the Thompsons, that's really matters in some cases, and I think that's what we're seeing.
He's not even. Is he doing TV stuff right now?
I don't know what Tristan.
I'd try to get him to the stadium for the game tonight.
Yeah, you throw him a deal. You take it. You ain't up to nothing. Why not? And we got 1 million people hurt anyway, so you might end up messing around and playing once or twice. Not saying you expect anything, but if his presence is going to help the team morale, and especially one of your top players, why not?
All right, fellas, should we flip over to college football?
Oh, he's in Saudi Arabia right now.
He's hooping?
No, he's just hanging.
Oh, he's just
you can't give him to Cleveland by 7 o'clock.
Yeah, you
Saudi
just book him a flight.
I don't think.
Speaking of
I don't
things,
think even direct.
Did Sam and Miko on the show
Okay.
do the whole
It's a long
Pacers
flight.
started slow and made it to the Eastern Conference thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but news for you guys, Cleveland, and everyone that said that the Pacers were in the conference finals the year before. Something we've still yet to do. So don't get your hopes up too much.
Well, good news for Cavs. Plenty of season left. All right, gentlemen, college football playoffs round 1 starts tonight. Alabama travels to Norman to take on the Oklahoma Sooners.
Ty
Oklahoma
Simpson
opens
redemption
this
arc.
one as a favorite, -112 on FanDuel Sportsbook. If you're looking to cover that spread, it's Oklahoma -1.5. Jack, I'll start with you. We can do our official pick'ems as round 1 kicks off tonight.
the
You got
spread
Oklahoma,
free?
led by John Mateer,
Are we doing spreads or money
or
lines?
the Ty
this week?
Simpson fighting Alabama's.
I think
Spreads
we should
are-
probably do spreads because there's
Spreads?
only 2 games really worth watching.
Yeah.
Well,
is it-
we can do
it's-
money
it's
lines.
1.5,
for Alabama.
right?
Let's do money lines for Alabama, Oklahoma. Miami, Texas A&M, they'll do spreads for Tulane, Ole Miss, and
okay, yeah, I'll take Oklahoma money line. I think anyone who watched the SEC title game has their suspicions about Alabama right now. Alabama struggles to run the football. They have all year long. Jam, I believe Miller is his last name. I can look that up though. The running back, Jam Miller, missed the SEC title game, missed the first couple of games of the year, and they've struggled to find a consistent running game. Oklahoma's allowed under 14 points per game. They allow like 4.5 yards per play. Like it's a really fucking good defense, Ryan, and I think they're gonna beat them.
This one is tough, man. I want to go Oklahoma, but then at the same time, I want to go Alabama. I know that, like, gee, thanks, Ryan. You picked one. Somebody has to win. But beating the same team twice is tough. Like, Alabama, are you going to get the version where we've seen them, like, against Georgia and Athens? Or are you going to get the version when they not struggle to beat, but Ty Simpson looks like a 5th-round pick?
I believe their last, like, they barely beat Auburn at the end of the year, too.
They're playing some of their worst football right now. Oklahoma's defense is one of the best in the country. It is in Norman. I just can't get over the fact of beating a team twice. Like, are we still thinking of Alabama? Am I giving too much into the fact of Saban? Like, do I have to completely erase that?
That is not the same program.
I'm also banking
completely get that out of my memory.
I think the second matchup is going to hurt Alabama. The only team I saw get a second look at Ty Simpson this year made him look like an absolute bum.
He can't run the fucking ball.
So I think this Oklahoma defense, which is honestly one of the best I've seen in the country, with a second look at Ty Simpson, is going to make it look even worse than they did last time.
They're going to give him hell.
And if Alabama loses, it just makes the committee look worse, which I would like.
Kalen DeBoer will be wearing maize and blue by the end of the game.
And I think Mateer, every week he's back, he'll pick it up a little bit. But this is probably going to be another low-scoring game. Both teams getting the second look at each other.
Yeah. I said 17-13.
I don't know what the over-under's at, but don't expect fireworks.
41.5.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take Oklahoma money line.
Slamming under and taking Oklahoma money line.
That's the way to go.
Nick, are you going to make us a meme? You taking Oklahoma or Bama?
Give me the Tide.
Okay.
I'm not letting the mean.
Nick doesn't give a piss about nothing but the Tide.
All right, we flip it over. The other only interesting first-round matchup, Miami. They travel to Texas A&M, take on those Aggies. Kyle Field, one of the toughest places to play in college football. Texas A&M opens this one as the favorite, minus 156 on the money line. If you're looking for the spread, it's Texas A&M minus 3.5. My best bet here would be Miami plus 3.5. We're picking the straight winners, though. I'm going Miami in this one. I think you're going A&M.
I'll get to it after you.
Like, this reeks to me, Carson Beck can have a good first-round playoff game. Then he goes to play against a legit college unit in the Buckeyes defense, and that's the game he kind of collapses. Like, I just don't trust A&M. Like, they've beaten I'm not going to say they haven't beaten good teams, but they just merchanted the bottom half of the SEC. And then you see them lost to Texas. If Marcel Reed at all plays similar in the first half like he did to South Carolina, you can write that game over. I think Carson Beck does enough. I think they get the ground game going. I think they win this one and play the Buckeyes.
Ooh. Right now, my mind's telling me A&M. And simply because the playoff game is not a neutral game. The first-round game is not a neutral game. And I see Carson Beck being a puddle at Kyle Field. True. I see it being rowdy, raucous. They talked about how Carson Beck's been in the playoff moments, but he's been in the neutral field games. He's never the new and the most important thing about that first round being a home game is very important. And I think he doesn't rise to the occasion. I think Marcel Reed feeds off that crowd. I think the Texas A&M defense feeds off that crowd. And I think they get the job done.
I just can't get out of my head. It was at Texas A&M that game against South Carolina. Like, am I reading too much into that? Marcel Reed looked.
No, I mean Notre Dame went in there and beat him last year.
He looked like he was playing concussed. I mean, he was quite literally every time he threw. That's got to be more in South Carolina. Every time he threw the ball, I thought it was going to be an interception. That's not an exaggeration.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one, Ryan. I'm taking Miami to win this one. I think Le'Veon Moss's injury is ultimately the biggest thing that's going to knock me off the Aggies train a little bit. But like, I don't know. I just think the best player on the trenches on both sides of the ball is on Miami. I think like
you just got to get in Marcel's head, pressure him.
Yeah, this is gonna be I think this one's gonna be the closest game of the weekend. I think this one's gonna be more competitive than the last one. That's why I love
Miami plus 3.5.
Yeah, I think those spreads good, but I like Miami money line outright though too, dude. I don't know. I think Miami, like, for those two bad losses middle of the year, like, they've been pretty dominant since then. Like, they've picked things back up. Like, it's hard to go against Mayoga on one side of the ball and Ruben Bain Jr. on the other. Like, it's tough keeping up with like Concepcion and what's the other receiver? Craver. But like Miami has weapons too. Like Tony can get the job done. Like they've struggled with big plays at times this year, or generating big plays rather. The one thing that A&M is really good at is giving up big plays. So like I think there's a bit more of a push pull there, and it's just so tough without your with your running back at best limited.
I think you'll see that Carson Beck that showed up versus SMU and Louisville in this big game. I think
4 picks. Nick, you splitting the tie, or are you gonna make it a tie?
I already picked one dog, so should I keep the theme going? Give me the Canes.
Oh, we got 3 on the
I'm
Canes.
rolling solo.
Play the Buckeyes.
All right, then these next games, we're just betting the spread, unless you want to get crazy. Tulane travels to Ole Miss to take on the Lane Kiffinless.
What's the spread?
Running Rebels. Spread in this one, -17.5.
Give me a backdoor cover for the.
I like Tulane
Give me a
to fuck
backdoor
around and cover as well. I think that, like, couldn't you see this happening? Tulane covers against Ole Miss. You kind of get that feeling of, oh, look, I mean, it wasn't a horrible game. Then you get to the next one, and Oregon wins by 60.
Yeah,
I completely
I'm
agree
following
on
that.
You know what I mean?
Because I
Like,
just took Duck's spread on the parlay.
Yeah,
But I think Tulane backdoor cover.
So Tulane cover. Rob, you say Tulane cover. Nick, you going Tulane cover?
Yep.
Jack?
I'm absolutely going Ole Miss to cover this
Yeah, I knew you
one.
were.
Tulane has one of the
probably a
worst
smart thing to
passing
do.
defenses in the country. This one is going to get spooky. They got their shit kicked by the University of Texas San Antonio Roadrunners just a few short weeks ago. I really don't like Tulane, man. I think this is going to get really, really ugly for them.
All right, last one then. Oregon at home in Eugene. They take on James Madison. Spread dropped a little bit. It was 21.5. Now on FanDuel Sportsbook, you could get it at 20.5, obviously in favor of Oregon. Like I said, Oregon wins this one by a crap ton. Dante Moore shows out.
Go Ducks.
Oregon wins by at least 21, in my opinion.
Anyone taking Madison to cover?
Yeah, I'm definitely taking James Madison to cover in this one. They have the number 2 run defense in the country so far this season. Wayne Knight is a 1,300-yard rusher. Alonzo Barnett III, their quarterback, also added in 600 yards with 20 passing touchdowns that I think came within the 45-yard line, I read, which is pretty cool. So, like, he kind of gets good buzzing more as they go down the field. I don't know. I think like Oregon is one of the youngest of the blue blood teams in the playoffs this year. So like I think there's a little bit of inexperience. I think it's a world where it's more like through one quarter they keep it like 7-3, and after that they start to blow them out a bit. But I think because of like how much they eat the clock, like how much faster they'll make the game go there, have the best chance to hang in it compared to Tulane.
Fair enough. All right, Nick and Rob, this is Jack. I know you're not too big into boxing, right? Like me.
I like boxing. I wouldn't say I'm
we're yapping
a huge
about,
fan.
about
Yeah,
the
we might
fight.
as well. I want your guys' official predictions. Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul.
You want me to go first?
Do you want
or
my
go
bet or do you want my prediction?
Both.
I
Both.
think I got a great bet for the fight for those. So if you're watching, and me and Nick have talked about Jake Paul and his fights for so long, because Jake Paul has been a bit of a moneymaker. I would not advise anyone to pick him to win this fight. But the thing that's been consistent, and I don't think he's he's not knocking out an actual boxer. I just don't see it happening. The money here is to bet on the fight to go to distance. Don't pick either guy to win. Fight to go to distance. Don't get greedy, because I won't count it out that there might be something sneaky if it does go to the distance on like a split decision. I don't know, but I don't think Netflix is gonna want either guy to get knocked out. Only an 8-round fight. I think they get in, get out. They make money. It comes down to decision. They might even pick draw. Like there's a sneaky thing there too. Like there's some nasty stuff going on. But I definitely think at like plus 310 right now, take the fight to go to the distance. But I think there's no way Joshua loses.
#sharp. I mean, I'm in lockstep. Rob and I have been kind of talking about this really ever since the news came out. I will say, like, Jake Paul has made me. I've honestly, this is like crazy to say, but in my sports gambling career, I've probably made more money on Jake Paul fights than I've made on anything else.
He was an egregious underdog.
Because like when he fought Ben Askren, for some reason he was a massive underdog.
I've never seen. Anyway, bro, because some
because,
people
like,
just don't watch combat sports, bro. A submission guy boxing,
Yeah,
he's a wrestler.
He was like at best like a jujitsu guy, but he was like a wrestler. So yeah, I did throw an honorary $50 on Jake Paul money line this evening. If it wins, I think it pays out $400 on FanDuel. So Get your bets in. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a spectacle one way or another. Like,
it's going to be a fun night.
Joshua towers over him. It's on Netflix. There's actually some decent fights on, like, even the prelims. Avius Griffin is a really exciting fighter. He fought on Big Play Boxing's card back in 2022, and he's on the prelims tonight of Paul Joshua. So it's going to be fun.
You said this is on Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
I got 35 for 143 on it to go the distance right now. I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Sharp bet to make.
You know, Anthony Joshua came out to GQ magazine in 2017 and said that he one day wanted to be the richest boxer in the world, to pass Floyd Mayweather Jr. I think taking a dive and letting yourself get knocked out by Jake Paul would be the quickest way to get there, right?
What's insane is it's possible. Because he's been known to, like, he
has 4 losses. It's not like he has no losses, and it's like, gonna,
I might put more on it.
What if it's like, oh shit, wow, he's 25 in his career now. Damn.
But it's like
have
this,
like 3 bands on it.
Like, this dude's a pro though. Like, prime AJ, before he like bulked up and he choked that Ruiz fight, like, he was a menace, and he's still got that, like, that pedigree. Like, this is a top class, top flight heavyweight, but he has been good. He's gotten knocked out a couple times. The jaw has been exposed. You know, what they say about the boxers, once you get knocked out once, it's easier to get knocked out again. If Jake's going to really win the fight, I think it would be he lands that lucky blow, you catch him with his hands down. But I don't see Joshua getting tired in an 8-round fight to give him that opening. So,
all right,
it's going to be fun, dude. I'm
going to be
excited.
Something. There's a lot going on today. Crazy.
But here's my question for you guys.
It really is.
It's because I am inherently not a big fan of the Paul brothers. I think you guys know about me with our long gap of time together. How many more of these fights until people stop caring?
That's a great question.
I
found myself questioning that, like, when I was making money on the first couple, like when he knocked out Nick Robinson and Ben Askren. I'm like, how much longer?
But this is serious though. I feel like he's got to make it competitive. If this is not a competitive fight,
because I think once he gets his ass kicked once, it's over. I think most Americans want to get punched in the face one time.
Is Jake a heavyweight? He's like is he really?
He's a cruiserweight.
Yeah, like this is risky fighting a heavyweight, like really, really risky. But we said that about who's the last fight?
Tyson.
Yeah, oh no, but we said it about the Fury fight, but it was competitive. He lost, but it was competitive. He's got to show improvement today. So, and I mean, Logan Paul, no one's checking for that in boxing anymore, but that's why he's doing wrestling, and he's doing quite well in that, as I've said on this show multiple times. So Jake, he says his goal is to become a champion. Starts today. This guy, like, he's got to.
If he beats Anthony Joshua, do they give him a title shot after this?
What did I say? What did I say? I said if he beats Joshua, I said the Wilder fight is somewhere in the near future, and then the championship fight is following. That's what I think the roadmap is.
Let me ask you guys this: is there a chance that
we could live in a society where Jake Paul,
because he could really,
well, let me ask you
guys,
really
outbox Deontay Wilder. Because Deontay Wilder, he could really. If that's who I thought he should. Because Joshua's a solid boxer. I think he could outbox Wilder.
Is there a world where, above the meme, Jake Paul is quite literally one of the world's best boxers?
He's got power. If he wins tonight, you gotta take it seriously.
Yeah, you gotta.
We're so much further along than I thought it ever would have gotten. Back from when he was fighting NBA players, MMA fighters. Like the fact that we're here now, he's fighting a legit guy. That was him.
That was
he is fighting a former heavyweight champion that I think. He fought a Klitschko. Like this is real boxing history behind Anthony Joshua. Like at one point was like the most popular boxer in the world. Like this is so he's a little bit past it. Yeah, like we're here. So if he puts up a fight tonight, like all that you wonder, you got to start taking it serious. So.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Rigged or not,
crazy to put it in that view. It's gotten further than I thought it ever would.
In boxing has been a long thing where like people have had the conspiracies and like Jake in the cherry pick fights. It's all a lot of smoke and mirrors, and it's about what makes the most money. And he's making a lot of money right now. So as long as he keeps people coming, you're gonna have to keep seeing fights.
Yep.
All right, well, we'll get tuned into that tonight, Nick. Let's tell everybody about FanDuel and then head out of here on the weekend.
I mean, dude, we're talking about, think about tonight, right? You could have the Cavs on a TV. You could have college football on a TV. You could have boxing on a TV. And that's just scratching the surface of everything that they've got going on at FanDuel. You know how fast NFL game days move. One big play and everything changes. That's why live betting on FanDuel is a game changer, because with with FanDuel, you can bet in real time while the game unfolds. If the score just flipped, jump on a new spread or live money line. If a wide receiver is starting to heat up, bet that next touchdown score or total yardage. Think a drive's going to stall in the red zone, take a live field goal prop, or just fade the total. Live player props, team totals, drive results, updated spreads, next play markets, it's all there. It's fast, it's fun, and with FanDuel, your live bets move as quickly as the game does. So whether you're riding momentum or fading the hype, FanDuel is going to put you in the middle of every single moment. Visit FanDuel.com/bigplay to download the app and bet the NFL live all season long. Must be 21 plus, present in select states. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com.
All right, Jack, we got a little wacky with this one. Take it away.
Yeah, we got some fun stuff going on. A little bit of college football playoffs and a whole lot of Jake Paul. We're starting off Boomer Sooner, Oklahoma, going to win this one at home against Alabama, and Kalen DeBoer trusts that defense. Then the U is going to walk into Kyle Field and walk out alive and set up a date with the Buckeyes in the Cotton Bowl. We're taking Oregon minus 20.5 against James Madison to get it done at Autzen Stadium in front of the home crowd. And then last but not least, guys, maybe the most fun leg we've ever had in parlay. I think you could say.
Chance.
There is a chance. Plus 700 on the @FD Sportsbook app. Jake Paul to defeat Goliath. David is going to sling the slingshot. Jake Paul, we're doing it. Money line. Doesn't matter how it happens, decision, not any way, shape, or form. If he beats Anthony Joshua tonight, we're cashing out. Oklahoma money line, the U money line, Oregon spread, Jake Paul money line.
So let me ask this, because we're obviously cheering for it because it's in our parlay now, but like, and I know like Jack isn't a fan of him, but oddly in this one, are you kind of like rooting for him because he is such a big underdog, because it's 7-1, because he's from Cleveland, Ohio, USA, against a guy that's not from here? That used to really mean something in boxing. Like, you would just get behind the American, and obviously that's, wavered a little bit in recent years as fan favorites have popped up internationally. But, like, I wonder if, like, the crowd in Miami tonight will be a pro-Jake Paul crowd.
Bro, if the dude that retired Vladimir Klitschko, one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, loses to Jake Paul, the boxing world is going to go up in flames.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
We're going to see tonight.
We're going to see tonight. So a good thing.
You see how people are talking? The more I tell you about it, aren't you a little interested?
No, I definitely am. I mean, I'll be watching. Don't get me wrong.
Netflix is
like millions of other people.
Yeah,
I'll be watching.
I know has it figured out.
I know
dude.
he's got a fight deal there's some the refs. Just watch everything closely tonight. Like, you'll see if everyone's in it to make sure that everyone makes the most.
See if he hands on the blade or not.
We're gonna learn a lot.
Can you learn anything from the prelims?
But like
in terms of betting, like if you watch
like how they're calling the games,
Tyron Woodley and Anderson Silva are fighting this evening. Can you learn anything from that bout?
Like you'll see if the counts and like how they're breaking in the clinches, and if it's like, are we calling it tight to get less action, to make sure that we get the most out of it, the most watch time. Like a lot of that, there's a lot of one day I want to like go in and like talk about boxing with the fellas one day, like get you guys caught up on some of the craziest stuff that's happened over the years.
It would be cool to bring some because these people
to talk to like a promoter and a
boxing
boxer.
Don King on the Factor.
He could tell you. Well, I don't know. A lot of people got problems with Don King, but Don King made a lot of money. So.
Yeah,
it would be cool to do. It's a good off-season idea.
Appreciate everybody tuning in here to the Big Factor on the Big Play Sports Network, presented by FanDuel. We'll be back on Monday, same people, same time. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy the weekend. Happy holidays. Christmas right around the corner. Be safe, and we'll talk Monday. Peace out.